some little birdies that I hatched out on January 15th have laid me eggs for the first time, and I just found them today. Let me show you my little birdies. A little bit of a backstory. Last year I started quail. It was literally a year ago at the same time. I got my first eggs from them in early March. But I had a flock of quail that got decimated by foxes in September while I was at school one day. Lesson to be learned, I'm not keeping my quail in chicken style type tractors this year. We are still trying to figure out a permanent housing situation, so if anybody's got good ideas, please feel free to stitch this or comment on a post if you've made a post. I only have 3 quail out of the batch that I hatched out on January 15th. And they're living temporarily in this rabbit cage. Now you can see they were picking on this one. They actually have lived, nope, it's this one. They have lived harmoniously up until this point. And I noticed today that they started picking on each other, or pecking this one in particular. So I have treated that. I'll show that in a second. But here are my 2 tiny little eggs. So these are literally brand new eggs. They are the first ones that they have laid. And they are tiny, but they're also their first eggs. Let's compare them to full-size adult quail eggs over here. Quail are a great resource for people looking to become more self-sufficient. I feel like they are commonly often overlooked and not thought of as livestock that can be a very reliable and quick source of protein. When compared to chickens, their incubation time is 18 days as opposed to 21 days. They also come to maturity a little bit quicker than, say, chickens do. These are only 6 weeks, and I'm now just getting my first eggs out of them. Where chickens, on the other hand, depending on the breed, can be anywhere from 4 to 6 months. I am not a professional on quail by any means. I'm actually learning along with you, but I have been keeping poultry overall for many years now. My husband and I operate a diversified livestock operation in the western region of New York State, a little bit south of Buffalo. We have a huge variety of animals, so the quail was just another endeavor that I had done some research on and I really wanted to try. Not just for our farm, but for my classroom as well. I have a lot of new followers from my agricultural fact of the day from the other day, and I feel like I need to explain a little bit about myself. I'm obviously an agricultural educator, an ag teacher, an FFA advisor in a public high school, and we own a farm. It was not inherited. I will tell you right now, it was purchased outright. We have made a lot of sacrifices to make this happen. Lack of family vacations being one of them. My husband and I have been together for close to 10 years now, and we've never really taken a vacation. But anyway, there's a slew of videos if you would like to go learn more about the things that I do. I've been posting for over 2 years at this point about agriculture, my classroom stuff, just everything. Back to my quail. This quail, obviously, she's gotten picked on pretty good. This is what I use, Pick No More cover-up lotion. I use it on my chickens. Actually, it's rare. I use this less than 5 times a year, probably, on my chickens. When we do meat turkeys, I do have to put it on. Usually 1 will get picked on out of the 50 we raise. You can get that stuff, that Pick No More lotion, from Tractor Supply or Amazon, and you do have to be careful not to get it in their eyes, and it works really well. It deters the other birds from wanting to peck them. So I will keep a close eye on that poor little bird and monitor it. I do have another cage of adult quail over there, so if I need to move the bullies out of that cage, I can easily do it. Quail are commonly referred to as an easier homesteading type of project because, again, kind of like with chickens, you don't need an exorbitant amount of overhead. You don't have to have a huge building, and overall, they don't really eat that much. I know a lot of homesteaders have had very good success with them. They do lay regularly, just like chickens. I'm not sure what the longevity of them is, but you do have to make sure that you're paying attention to light exposure, and that is also the same for chickens. I feel like people already know this, but then I take it for granted. In order for poultry to continue laying, their body tells them that when the daylight length gets shorter into December, that they can't raise offspring at that time. So that's why they stop laying. So people that have chickens that want them to lay year round will put a light on a timer and extend the daylight hours. And I do that with my chickens. Some people say that it's cruel because they never get the opportunity to go into a molt, but that's a story for another day. Hope you learned something today.